And the trainer back on again. Still not comfortable with it. Got to get the tension right too. You don't want to block off blood supply. And for Cornet, she is definitely stretching out her right foot and ankle on that to sit down as well. It's an interesting time for her, Annabelle. If she feels she has tweaked her right foot after this pretty one-sided set in the end, does she call the trainer? Does she want an interruption? Does she want to show Halep that she's got a bit of an issue?
I know, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I definitely thought she was limping a little bit when she had that moment where she looked across at her coach and sort of indicated something wasn't quite right. It was after that smash she put away, wasn't it? And a very long rally where she looked like she was really struggling to get air in her lungs afterwards. But yeah, she wants to keep this momentum going because clearly she's up against a slightly hindered opponent down the other side. And at the moment, she couldn't be hitting the ball any better from the back of the court. Very clean striking. Footwork and the intensity rate at the back of the court is very high, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see why she's been very close to the top 10 in the world. She's a tough competitor. And the calf now is probably supporting the ankle. I mean, you get secondaries naturally when you get a part of your body that's struggling. The rest of your body tries to compensate. Secondaries are horrible. Sort of just adds a bit of salt, doesn't it? So Simona Halep had to regroup after Doha anyway, but even more so now, having lost the first set 6-1, she starts the second on serve with new balls. Hasn't held serve in the match yet. Looking at her coach, who signals yes, it was long. One all on the let courts.
Well, they usually even out, don't they? I mean, this is quite a sort of a tricky net, actually, because if you do get the let call, we saw it yesterday, didn't we? I think Venus Williams got one that sat on top of the net for ages and then just went over, so quite forgiving.
Often been asked, why do they call it a let? How did they get the name? And it derives from an old English word called letten, which is to hinder. Amazing what you can get off Google.
Yeah. Well, I've learned something. I didn't know that. It's a letten cord.
Yeah, well played. Shortening the point, looking to come in, but far from comfortable. I mean, they're still excited, of course. They've got a chance to see Simona Halep play live. But she is really struggling. And this is the first round.
Well, there's a look at the stats from that first set. And pretty even on the first serve percentage, just the one ace from Alize Cornet. She threw in the only double fault of that first set. But look at the winner difference, 7-2. And that's pretty unusual for Halep, who's such an aggressive player. More unforced errors off her side as well, and Cornet creating way more breakpoint opportunities, 5 of them, and then converting on 3 of them. So all those stats stacking up in her favour after that first set. But I don't know, it just feels like even though Halep's struggling, she's going to be still a difficult nut to crack, I think.
Yeah, tactically it's just perfect. It's cruel, but it's the right thing to do.
And that's one of her trademark shots, isn't it, that drop shot? She's always pretty confident on it and playing it at the right time here. You certainly don't want to be playing it at a very crucial stage score-wise. And that one was just perfect positioning.
Super. She has got to play cat and mouse. She's got to protect that ankle somehow, but it is a bit of a limp now.
Well, giving her some of her own medicine there with that clever drop shot, but again, great court positioning from Halep. As soon as she played the drop shot, she moved in and followed the line of the ball and then cut the angle down. Knew that the next ball coming was going to have to be up, so she was able to volley it into the open space. Very much sort of Hingis-like, that last point.
Yeah, Hingis here this week. Former champion, of course.
Yeah, we might see her on court in the next match, actually. She was here warming up Sabine Lisicki earlier today on this very court. And Lisicki next up on court. Due to take on Caroline Wozniacki.
Oh, brilliant. It's all too much for one youngster. It's another Kids' Day today. 750 children. Oh, what a shame. Halep is taking no further part in this match. Probably absolutely the right thing to do. Already a set down. There's a long way back and a long way forwards in the tournament. And just protecting it. Cornet goes through.
Well, I have to say, she played a terrific match out here, Alize Cornet, and that's to take nothing away from how she played this match. And you can see she's absolutely delighted. But what a shame for Halep, having come off such a high last week in Doha, but clearly struggling right from the very start of the match. And as we were saying, if you don't have your movement, you are so hindered in this sport. It really is so, it counts for so much. And I think probably the right decision. She will not want to be affecting things for the future for 2014.
Yeah, let's wish her well. Sympathetic applause as she bids farewell to Dubai. Cornet, well, she's been marching through the whole match, and she's marching off into the second round here to take on either Pliskova, Karolina Pliskova, the qualifier, or from the Czech Republic, or Kirsten Flipkens of Belgium. Well, on this sort of form, she could ruffle a few feathers this week. The ranking's going back in the right direction, as Annabelle was saying.